Hey guys, I hope this works. Hope this is working well. It's the first time I've ever streamed on YouTube live. Um, I said it. I said it. It's nearly impossible. I'm in an industry where, especially as a casino table game developer, I'm in an industry where you only get one shot, and only 2% of games are actually successful and make it. That means that they have 200 copies of their games anywhere. I mean, that's nearly impossible. So I wanted to put this video together because maybe this is a personal challenge for myself. Maybe you. It's a very interesting industry for many reasons, but the biggest reason of all is bottom line. That industry works by commission. They don't have the people coming through the door. They can't give them opportunities of winning or even have an industry. So they need the doors open. In fact, I believe 90% of their the money that they spend is based on their marketing. So that's very important for them to have the right traffic. So it's a Thursday. I hope you get a chance to see this. So I'm going to tell you a brief story. Got my coffee here, so I apologize, but this is my last day to relax. I've actually been mourning my youngest brother's death for the last 6 months, believe it or not. It's been that tough. I have not dealt with this company 100% for almost 6 months, based on waiting on the table being built. But other than that, it's been a slow process for me, and I have to wake that up today. Actually, if my brother was here, I know exactly what he would do right now. He would smack me in the back of the head and say, "What are you doing? You have the drive, you have the desire. Why are you waiting?" So I apologize to my brother. I apologize to everybody out there. I probably could have had this game ready, a month ago. But I had to make sure that I was right in the head because I only get one shot at this. To you casino executives out there, I understand that, everything you guys do has to be right on. You guys have to be right. Whether it's the morale of your workers, your employees, because I'm actually going to challenge myself and get back into this and be ready. For most of you that have seen some of our videos, you're still waiting for the final product. You're waiting to see the full results of our table, our horseshoe table, our tower that drops these chips, and seeing it all come together. Believe me, I can't wait. So, I understand and I apologize, but I had to put the carrot before the horse for a main reason. One of the worst things that can happen to you as a developer is to have copies of the game ready, or everything's ready to go and no one wants you. That you don't have the right fit. The game just doesn't do what it needs to do for you. So I wanted to be the first one to ever stand up and put it on my shoulders to possibly have the game of the year, to possibly challenge each and every casino owner to take a serious hard look at this game and what it will do for you instantly. It's no one's really has ever come along and said these things, and I can't lie. I cannot sit here and lie to you. I can't say I didn't design this game to do just that. I can't do that because it took me 4.5 years to even come up with a concept, only because I had to look at the problems. I'm looking at this game as the problem solver. It's that simple. I said, listen, we have different types of blackjack that's going well. We've got Mississippi Stud is a great game now as a table game. You can put your fingers out and count a couple games that are great right now and doing well on certain floors. But there's a lot more developers out there that are trying to get their game in. And as a developer, we need to make sure that we are right before we try to walk in. So I wanted to not waste anyone's time. I wanted to be right on and be 100% correct for them, because it does make my job easier. It makes me right. I get it. But you know what? I even look at all these things on the board, on the wall here that I was able to put up. And I look at it and I say, is that me trying to brag? Or did I deserve to have every last thing that's sticking up on that wall? Is there room for more things? So it's that simple. It's nearly impossible. It's not 100% impossible. It's just nearly impossible. You can look at this from the outside looking in and say, wow, all these casinos have enough table games already. Why would they need to take a game off the floor and make room for yours? I mean, that's the reality behind this. But I understand that traffic can be better in most of these casino floors. Rather you're in Atlantic City, rather you're in Las Vegas, rather you're in upstate New York, rather you're down in Florida, rather you're in Oklahoma. You'll be amazed by the number of different casinos that are actually out there. And you'll be even more amazed of each individual casino's needs. What are they looking for? I've seen videos and plenty of times I've walked in to a couple places and on certain days of the week. So let's say Monday, Wednesdays, usually your front end of the week, the casinos are slow. They're dead. And I understand people work, et cetera, but we market to get the casinos busier on those days so that they're busy all the time. I asked myself 4 years ago, could you put together a game that'll bring so much traffic to these floors that seems like every day is busy, every hour is busy? Is there a game out there like that? Now we can sit back and say, well, yeah, craps is doing great. Roulette is doing great. Blackjack is doing great. We can say those things, but how does a developer get in? Get in. There's only one way. No matter who there's only one way. You as a developer have to be right. Everything from concept to the ability to make the bet sexy. You have to be right. So I'm putting this video together, like I said before, because I wanted to not only challenge myself, but I wanted to show not only the patrons, the players that come to these casinos and play these games and they're in there, but even the casino executives, that someone like myself is done with being behind the shadows and you don't hear about us until we have our table in your lap, trying to get it to you. I wanted to show you the ins and outs of what we have to go through to even get a shot, let alone putting myself in position to get a shot. So I wanted this game not only to work great for the casino floor, but I also knew that if I can make it great for the online casinos, then there's more people playing. So they rather play at home, they can still show up at the casino and still have it on that floor and love it. Like there's no greater feeling. I don't know that feeling yet. I'm trying to experience it, but I'm sure there's no greater feeling in the world to know that people are playing your game at home and they're coming to the casino and playing on the floors. But I wanted the floor first. And the reason I wanted this more than anything, especially in this industry, yes, I do know the rewards are great if you're right, but only 2% of them are right. Do I have enough to make up that, to be part of that 2%? Is my concept better than great? Floor, when in true definition of the word, nearly impossible means that it's still possible. It's just nearly impossible. So how do you get rid of the negative side of this? How do you say I'm not worried about them saying no? What you have to do as a developer before you start talking and putting the game out there, or even calling these casinos and say, hey, look, this is the game, we'll send you a video. Before you can even do those things, you have to go through the sifting process, just like flour. You got to sift yourself out so that you have nothing but a perfect grain to work with. You see, that grain is the DNA towards having a perfect game. You don't know it, but you have to understand it. You have to say, what would make a player want to keep playing? What would want to make a player pick up their cell phone and call their friends and say, oh my God, I just hit? What would make a player leave a slot machine or another table game because they hear all this noise over here and they're wondering what's going on? They have to investigate. They got to go look. Does the game have the look by itself where it can pull you from another area of the floor to that table? Name one table game that has that. See, most of the players nowadays, they're coming in specifically with a game plan, believe it or not. If you're a player, you know what your budget is. You know you don't want to go over that budget, and you know what your favorite machine is to play or your favorite table game to try to start off with. In fact, Casino Derby really was designed to go and compete against one table game. That's the Big Six. That big wheel, that old carnival game that's been around for seems like centuries. But that one table is the one I designed this game to go after, to challenge, to go up against. And the reason I did it is because it's a high revenue game. I mean, it's a high revenue producer. But if you notice, not every day of the week is it busy. Sometimes casinos don't even open the table until a Friday or Saturday night. It used to be open a little more back in the day, but it's just not now. It's just not. And it used to be that some of the players would come into the casino floor and start right at the big wheel to try to get low risk with a high yield, to win right off the bat and get that winning feeling going before they moved on to the blackjack table or roulette table or craps table or even a slot machine. You know, that's just the plain truth. What I wanted to do with this game was a lot of different things, but these were the most important ones. Let me just explain. I wanted it so that you can come in and put down as little risk as possible as a player and have the highest opportunity of yield, of collecting a win. Because when you get more wins as a player, that ebb and flow that exists when you're playing, you know, sometimes you're losing, boom, you get a good win. Or sometimes you're on the slot machine, you're winning, boom, you lose, boom, you get a good win, you're back up to normal, or you're even a little above that, or you hit a jackpot and you're going crazy. In most cases, when you hit that jackpot, you might sit down at another machine before you leave. You know, you don't know how good your luck is running, is what they call that. I wanted to say, specifically looking for when they show up on that floor, or the game that they didn't know was going to be there, or they didn't see it coming, but when they got to it, they could not leave it alone. That is a game that will generate traffic. Now, as I stated before, most people know in a casino or in that industry that you have to generate traffic. Whether you bring in a certain performer, certain activities or things of that sort, conventions. There's a lot of different things that bring traffic in, of course. When's the last time we've had a table game, one table game, put itself on the floor and bring in that type of attraction? That's what I went after when I created Casino Derby. Look, I don't really even know my motive to this video for you, so I apologize, but I have no fear. I started from the bottom. You know, it was a question that was put out recently. You know, when it comes to funding, do you ask for funding, or are you tired of people asking for funding? Or are they asking the right way? I've always stated it this way: it's never about the handout, because there's a lot of that finally going on with some things in life, which is great. I think it's a great thing. But it should always be about the hand up. And that hand up should only be brought out to you only if they see the potential of what it's going to become. Do you have what it takes to show them that? You see, that's what I'm up against. So I put this video together, 15 minutes running right now. I put this video together for you because I'm going to challenge myself. I knew what I wanted to do with Casino Derby when I created it, but I also have 3 other games that I'm going to be releasing, hopefully, based on the success of Casino Derby. And it's going to knock your socks off. Every last one of them have to knock your socks off. Otherwise, they're not going anywhere. If Casino Derby does not knock your socks off the second you see it as a casino executive, as a player, then it's everybody's waste of time. It's not going to work. I didn't build it to make it work. I built it to make it number one. That's as honest as I can be. I have no fear. I have nothing to lose. I started from the bottom. So I'm telling you all today that if you give this game a shot, it'll be one of the biggest noisemakers you've had in a long time. And you only need one game. You don't need 5 or 6 tables of this game. There's no way. You only need one. So I put this video together today, like I stated, because I'm also going to do this live right here on this video. So this is the only time you're going to see this, but you can catch me tomorrow and watch me go through this. But I'm going to actually be making phone calls because I'm still looking for a couple of sponsors that I like to put on my website associated with this. See, let's back the clock up a little bit. So before I came out here and put together, as if most of you can remember, it was most of you that chose that picture as the winning picture of our business card and our actual logo, minus the sides here. This is just a custom card for the Casino Derby card, but for our business card. Pick it for me. So out of I think we had 2,600 votes. This number one, and I appreciate it 100% today. But I put this together because I wanted to do one thing. Like I said, the majority of the time, the developer never really shows his face. They can't even play the games if they're on the floor, of course, as you know. But I wanted to do it differently. I wanted people to see exactly how hard this industry is and how tough it can be at times. I wanted them to see the behind the scenes of how the table's being built down at the warehouse at our place that we have it being built, all the way to the process of me actually, shaking hands. I want to do that to them because the more that they can see just how difficult it is to do these things, and yet they're still winning, that they could show up and actually get an opportunity of winning more and having more fun. They got to celebrate that. They will celebrate it. I'm seeing the results of it already. So I'm going to be looking for a sponsor for Casino Derby. That's not necessary, but I'm going to do that because I think we can expose more companies in a good way. So it's just what it is. For example, we have 14 horses that have given names in this game, but I want to give them an AKA and then give them a real horse name located at a real stable somewhere near you. Why not? Why not expose those stables and give them an opportunity to talk about their locations? I mean, who knows? Hopefully we can bring 1 or 2 or even 30 customers your way that are brand new based on what we're doing. Who says we can't? Who says it's impossible to do that? The only one that can tell you that is you, because that's part of fear. And the only thing you have to fear is fear. So if you get rid of fear, you have nothing else to lose, only everything to gain. So if you ever followed me on my Twitch channel, I've been off of that for a while, but I'm going to be getting back on that tomorrow because we're actually going to show you how we're gluing these pieces together for the flip and bet part that's a part of the table. So I have to do the first group of 26, but from here on out, our manufacturer is going to handle it. But I wanted to do that. I wanted to do it live so that people can actually watch me put it together. They can ask questions. We could talk more about the flip and bet concept that's part of the Casino Derby game. Remember, you're talking about a custom table that is in the shape of a horseshoe. You have a drop board that is 10 feet tall based on the little stage that we have it set up on. We have 3 chips that drop down at the same time, just like a Plinko board. So there's just a lot of action. There's a lot of excitement. You may just be playing for a horse to win. You may be just playing for the total sum bet, which is the total of the 3 amounts wherever they land, which plays almost exactly like roulette. I mean, we had to put these things together to get an opportunity to getting most of the people most of the time. That means even on your dead days that you're going to have some traffic in a good way. And more importantly, I wanted to be the first one to be right in a long time in this industry. I'm not discrediting any other table game that's out there. Listen, I know it was hard for them to put it together and get the shot. And if you're still looking to get those shots, hey, look, let's join up. Let's talk and work on different ways that we can get there together. I don't care if I get you in and I don't get in. That's fine. That's great as long as you're happy because you know the road. The road less traveled is the most difficult. If possible. So for the 21 films that just went by, I'm just here to basically put myself out there. I put this video together so you guys know that I'm up against it. I'm challenging myself. I'm challenging the industry. And you know what? Honestly speaking, I'm not going to lie. They can look at this video and say, well, we just don't like them. So we're not going to give them a shot. I don't control anything. I don't. I wish I could, but I don't. The only thing I have, hopefully, is the answer to solve problems that are existing on casino floors in the table game department. Yeah, you could lower the cost of a play on a table, and that could bring in more traffic. Sure, but if they've never seen something before, and it just completely knocks their socks off, where they say to themselves, "I'm ready to make a wager. Let's really get into it." Then you win. You win as an executive. You win as a casino floor. My job is to help you win. My job is to help bring traffic through your door based on a concept, based on something that's sitting on your floor. And in order to get me on that floor, we got to work together. I'm asking for you to hire me as casino executives if you're checking this out. Patrons, look, I'm on your side too. Look, I believe that there should be more ebb and flow. There should be more wins that happen more consistently and more often. Now, I'm not saying that there's a certain strategy that you can play in this game, but this has the most variance of luck ever. You got to understand what you're going to see, what you're going to experience, and it's going to knock your socks off. And because there are that many chances of winning, then I had to keep the bet as low as possible for you. Now that, of course, is in the hands of the casino floor. But I wanted to make it that the horse bet is $1 bet, no different than this big 6 wheel. And I wanted the total sum bet knocks your socks off. How about 350 to 1 if you hit a certain number? If that's the right math. We're working to make sure. Okay. Maybe 175, maybe even 80 to 1 on a bet that's similar to like a roulette bet. Really? More people can get at the table because there's more space. They can reach out and place their bets in comfort, not crammed up like the regular roulette table is, which that's the way they like to see it. And I understand it, but I had to make some changes. I had to make room. I had to go after this because all we need to do is be right. And if you have a riverboat, I'm on your side with that too. We're working on a smaller table which is going to play exactly the same for you, but it's just going to be up to 20 players instead of up to 40. So we're going to make it so it's on your boat, and your people will just love this because it touches every one of their buttons. So again, I put this video together. I hope it gets looked at. If it doesn't, that's okay. But I put this together as a challenge for myself. I'm publicly putting it out there to all of you that if you haven't learned by what I've been putting together, or haven't seen what I've been doing, and that's okay too. But I want people, and I wanted myself to be able to look back and take a look at some of these videos and see where I was before and where I'm trying to go. That's the only way you can really recognize that you've reached your appreciate or can appreciate the hard work that's necessary to do this. It's 2% of games are getting in, only 2%. To me, I look at half of that getting in. Can I make up that 0.5%? Can I be part of that crew? Can I be an example for others? Because let's say my game is hot, it goes crazy. Of course, I'm going to get calls from other developers and saying, hey, what's your secret? Or what's this? What's that? And I'm going to give them everything I have, only because I want to see them succeed also. It's just what it is. Life is too short to stay hidden in a closet. When you've lost everything that I've lost only because of Mother Nature, you have to stop telling yourself that you're a failure, or, you don't deserve to live, or all these negative things that can come in and just attack you when you had nothing to do with that. It's always about the fight that you have left in you that gives you the difference between being successful and not being successful. Whether it's your marriage, whether it's your work, it doesn't matter. It's still the same thing. What do you need to be happy? What do you need to win? Whether it's a challenge like what I'm doing today, whether it's me trying to make this logo as popular as possible, that's for me. That's my boxing ring. I know who the opponents are. The issue is, can I make the opponent like me enough to knock him out in a nice way? In a nice way. If I had to narrow it down to how I feel about Casino Derby, like I said, if I can narrow it down to 3 words, I would say the main event. I want Casino Derby to be that game that you talk about before you even walk through the casino door. As a executive, I want you to say, wow, we've never had anything like this do what it has done. That's how we win together. And I firmly believe in my heart, and by the numbers and by the reactions, that this game is the one. I'm not looking for the pat on the back. I don't mind a thank you here and there. That's going to be a great thing. But what's going to work for me is just remembering way back when I first got on LinkedIn back in 2014, I think it was. And I got my first connection. And I said to myself, okay, so now what? What am I going to do with this connection? What am I going to do? Why am I on LinkedIn? Why am I here? Why am I on Facebook? Why am I on YouTube? You can waste a lot of hot air just talking. But the key is to be a doer. You have to get out there and do something. Do something with your connections. Do something for your connections. But be the one. Be the one that doesn't say it's impossible. Be the one that doesn't believe in the word impossible. If it's something that is needed, then it becomes a problem, and you have to solve the problem to get the need solved, or to get that taken care of. To me, I'm looking at the whole picture of the casino industry and saying, how do we increase their traffic? Is there one game that can take this company and Galaxy Gaming and Scientific Games and all these great companies. Look, it would have been easier for me to really put this thing together and try to place it in their hands and let them be the distributor. But I mean, I'm trying to grow this here in this city so that I can turn around and help this city grow, get better. Look at an example. Look at someone that didn't quit. Look at someone that said, hey, we've been through these floods together. I lost everything in 2006. And I'm going to tell you right now, and I'm going to end this video with this. I'm not looking to be stopped. I'm going to give you everything I got. I'm coming. And I'm going to come as hard as I can. And I hope that this is the perfect thing for you because it's all about traffic. And I'm looking to bring it.